get the great honor of introducing our next inductee. Skip Watt, class of 70, was the mainstay, #1, all 4 years of competition. Earned medalist honors at the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics District 18, as he set his school record for all-time low round with a 67 and qualified for the NAIA National Tournament. Watt helped lead Westminster to 3 straight West Penn Intercollegiate Athletic Conference championships, including an individual runner-up performance as a junior. A 4-year letter winner, Watt was named team captain as a senior. He boasted a career dual match record of 26-8-1, including a perfect 10-0 in his sophomore year. Watt's season and career averages rank at the top in program history. Additionally, Watt was a 3-year letter winner and a 2-year starter for the Westminster football team that compiled an 18-6-1 record during his playing year. Hall of Fame inductee, Skip Watt. Thanks, brother. Very welcome. Yeah, you just might run.
Thank you very much. Is there any question tonight about who the senior member is of this class? I don't think so. First of all, I'd like to thank President Richardson, Jim Daffler, Coach Fusco, Jason Leonard, Hall of Famers, teammates, friends, and family for being here this evening. And also would like to congratulate Jim Daffler and all the teams for winning their 6 PAC conference titles last year. What a great year that was. And I also would like to congratulate Johnny Stucker, our Titan golfer, for breaking a 51-year-old scoring record by shooting 66 last weekend. What a great round of golf that was. And I wonder whose record he broke. I'm going to start out with a list of the many ways that God has blessed me in the past 73 plus years. The parents I had, the family I now have, being born in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, all the great teachers and professors that I've had, and all the fantastic coaches, teammates, and friends that I have had, and many are here tonight. And there are actually several more blessings, too many to list, but you can see I didn't have too much to do with any of them. I was just very fortunate and blessed to have them all. For me, golf was a great classroom for life learning lessons. And one of those lessons I learned when I was 15, and I was invited to play in the Tri-State Open in Pittsburgh alongside some great pros like Arnold Palmer and many other touring pros and great amateurs. I thought this was really great and was a little proud of being invited. Well, we went to the practice tee to warm up as usual, and after warming up, we walked past the first tee, and there were thousands and thousands of people there to watch Arnold Palmer. Well, I told my dad that this would be great to have all those people watch me play golf. My dad said that all these people won't be there when you go to tee off. He said they'd be following Arnold around the course. Well, I teed off about 30 or 40 minutes later, and my dad was right. There were a total of, I believe, 7 people there, not thousands. And that included myself. I mean, it was my dad and I, 2 playing partners, their caddies, and a starter. That was it. In the Bible, Proverbs 11:2 says, "When pride comes, then comes disgrace. But with the humble is wisdom." Maybe I received some wisdom that day. I believe I did receive some wisdom that day. And let me go back here. My next life learning lesson happened about the same age. I was playing in a high school golf match, and after finishing the round and having a horrible day putting, I decided to take it out on my putter. So I grabbed my clubs and went behind the clubhouse and proceeded to break that horrible putter in half. Then went back to the front of the clubhouse, met my dad, and we headed the car to go home. Well, as I was putting my clubs in the trunk, my dad said, "Where is your putter?" And I told him what I had done, and my putter was in 2 pieces at the bottom of my bag. Well, I received a very stern lecture on the way home, and my dad explained why I should not have done that. He explained some things that I already knew, but I guess I really didn't understand or appreciate at the time. You see, my dad and mom worked really hard so that I could have the things that I wanted. My dad was working 3 jobs at the time and about 12 hours a day so that I could have ball gloves, bats, basketballs, bicycles, golf clubs, and yep, a putter. My dad put my now 2-piece putter on top of our console TV in the living room, and it stayed there for years just so I wouldn't forget that little life lesson. And it was a good lesson in respecting your parents and elders. So these 2 life learning lessons relating to golf, humility and respecting your parents and elders, were very powerful and lasting to me. I mean, I still remember them 60 years later. So how did I end up at Westminster? It starts out by talking about somebody that has nothing to do with Westminster, but you'll see the connection shortly. When I was a senior in high school, I was invited to Wake Forest to play golf with a couple of their team members, Jack Lewis and Jay Siegel, while their golf coach, Jesse Haddock, watched. Well, I shot 73 that day, and I thought, well, that was pretty good, except Jack Lewis shot 64 and never made a putt longer than his putter. I think I received a little more humbling wisdom that day. But it was a great experience, and Coach Haddock wanted me to come down and try out for the golf team. But still wanting to play football in college, I asked Coach Haddock if that would be possible, and he said, "No, you're just going to play golf." So we headed home. Soon after that, Coach Burry called and wanted to visit the family. Well, we were very impressed with Coach Burry, and he explained the Titan tradition, how good Westminster athletics were, what a great education I would get, and being close to home, my parents could come to the games and watch the matches. And he didn't care if I played both sports. Well, but back to Coach Haddock. During his tenure at Wake Forest, he won 3 national championships, 13 ACC conference title. He had 63 All-Americans, and several of his players went on to play in the PGA Tour, like Curtis Strange, Lanny Watkins, and Jay Haas. Well, I sort of knew that they had great teams through the years, but a few years ago, Coach Haddock passed away at age 91. And there were several articles on the internet that I learned some things that I didn't know. And some of the following quotes that were said about Coach Haddock were that he didn't start playing golf until the year before he started coaching golf at Wake Forest. And Jay Haas said he didn't know much about the golf swing, but he knew what made people tick. Other quotes were, he allowed talent to surface, he made sure we all felt valued, and he was a great recruiter. Well, after seeing all these articles and quotes 50 years later, voila, that was our Coach Burry. Exactly the way he coached our team. And it was very interesting to realize the similarities of these 2 great coaches, and as a testament to Coach Burry's recruiting and coaching abilities, our 1969 golf team now has 4 players in the Hall of Fame. And I want to recognize the other 3 from this 1969 team, and they're all here tonight. There's Chuck Collison, Dan Laux, and John or J.D. Eversberger. Thanks, guys. Thanks for sharing the night with me, guys. I just want to tell you a short story about Coach Burry. After qualifying for the NAIA National Tournament, Coach Burry called me into his office and asked me if I thought my dad would like to go to the tournament in Missouri with me as the acting Westminster golf coach. He said he thought my dad would be a bigger asset to me because he taught me how to play golf. He knew my game, and he thought that would just be much better if he went rather than himself. So I asked my dad, and my dad said, well, naturally, yeah, I'll go. And so he did. So anyway, for the past 51 years, I kept this little badge that Dr. Burry gave my dad when we went out to Missouri to play in the national championship. And it says right on it, Coach Earl Watt. What a caring and unselfish gesture that was. Shortly after graduating, I lost my dad, and I also lost my connection to Coach Burry, and I've regretted that very much ever since. But I know they're both looking down on this event today, and I just want to say thanks. And you are two of the best men I've ever known in my life. Again, I thank everyone else here this evening, and a special thanks to my wife, Kathy. And if there were a Hall of Fame for wives, she would surely be in it, for putting up with me for 40 years. Also, a special thanks to my son, Greg, who I'm very proud of and is currently a golf course superintendent in Central Florida. And he flew up today with his fiancée, Shannon, to surprise me. Had no idea they were coming. Thank you. To conclude, Jordan Spieth, who is currently one of the best golfers in the world, said this after winning the U.S. Open. You get a few special moments in your life, and winning this Open is one of mine. Well, I feel the same way about this Hall of Fame induction today. This was truly a special moment in my life. Thanks again, and enjoy the rest of the evening.